Thank you for listening to this podcast from TRE, Talk Radio Europe, your voice in Spain and around the world. For more information, please visit tre.radio.
TRE in the afternoon. Presented by Hannah Murray.
Good afternoon. It's just coming up to 5:10. You are now listening to Men Talk. With me in the studio today, we have Neil Topless, Ben Kavanagh and Mark Wilkins. Hello.
Hello. Hey.
Thank you all for coming in. Hello. If you're listening at home and you would like to join in, you are more than welcome to. Here's how.
To contact TRE, please call 952 78 4000. Email studio@tre.radio. Send us a WhatsApp on +34 645 99 67 95.
What a beautiful day, it's a wonderful life.
So I thought I'd start with a nice, simple topic that we all like talking about, and that is food. It's a retro classic that was a staple of the 1970s dinner party in Britain, and it seems that the prawn cocktail has stood the test of time, leading the menu in the nation's dream three-course meal, alongside steak and chips with peppercorn sauce and apple crumble and custard. So go on then, your perfect three-course meal. What would it be?
Well, that sounds pretty good, Hannah.
Yeah, I'm not complaining.
No, I mean, I love I was eating prawns last night. I love steak. Easy on the chips. Apple pie. Don't tend to eat desserts, but that sounds pretty good to me.
Wow, so you wouldn't argue with that at all?
I wouldn't say it's my absolute favourite, but...
What would your absolute favourite be then?
I'm eating a lot of fish at the moment, so things like tuna tartare and that sort of stuff.
Okay.
Combine that with a good Spanish mortilla sausage or something like that.
Fair enough. What would yours be, Neil? How are we laughing? Okay, I'm going to go to Ben.
Oh, no. I think steak's a good shout.
Yeah.
But the prawns could probably go pill rather than cocktail.
Yeah.
Oh,
here we go. Good shout.
All that exotic stuff.
Yeah.
What's wrong with Mario Sauce? I mean, whoever invented ketchup and mayonnaise mixed together for prawn cocktails is like,
How do you think that happened? What were they doing in the kitchen when somebody said, this is going to work?
The white stuff and the red stuff.
All it was there was a kid playing with their food and they went, dip me prawn in that. Oh, that's all right.
Yeah.
Try that with HP sauce.
That's right.
I've never been a massive fan of prawn cocktail because I kind of feel that the sauce can sometimes make the lettuce a bit soggy. Lettuce should be crispy, and that's...
This is just way too much detail.
No, you reduced us to completely dumbfounded full men here. We're listening to you talk about crispy lettuce.
I've just got this idea of Hannah standing at a table shaking her lettuce.
Oh, God, no. But seriously, you don't want... Who wants a soggy lettuce?
Yes, true. That's true.
That's just wrong.
I can't argue with that.
Especially when we're just talking about the advertising. I'm just completely down the wrong road now.
Dear.
And if you leave it in the bottom of the fridge for the cool bit at the bottom...
Are we on lettuce now?
We're still on lettuce.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent, thank you.
It literally goes over in a day, so you've got to go shopping if you want crisp lettuce, ladies and gentlemen, you've got to go every day.
Or
freeze
something we've started. Freeze it, lettuce.
Crisp lettuce.
No.
Yeah, just don't defrost it.
I was going to say, when it comes out, it'll... No, but if you...
I'll set them up, you finish them, and she just looks at us.
In the fridge department, if you put kitchen roll on the bottom of the drawers, then that stops it going a bit kind of...
What kind of sorcery is that?
I don't know, but we've been doing it, and I feel like it makes a difference.
Do you put paper inside your drawers in the kitchen? Are you one of those people?
Not in the drawers, no, just in the fridge drawers.
Okay, all right.
Because sometimes it's too cold, and we've noticed that things start to get a little bit frozen.
Turn it down.
Yeah, no, that's a good.
There's a turn it downy thing on the fridge. Just turn it down.
Okay, maybe I'll do that.
Save some paper.
So, any other suggestions on a good starter, main course, or
I have to say,
are we literally agreeing with...
When you were saying about a typical 70s food, I thought you were going to say duck and orange, because that's like a 70s food.
Yeah.
Steak and peppercorn sauce is a classic. It's not 70s, it's a classic.
Yeah.
If you're going to talk about 70s food, then duck and orange is probably like what was known as the swingers' favourite, wasn't it? Is it too early to talk about that kind of thing?
It's what favourite? Swingers' favourite,
yeah, it was one of those menus, set menus for swingers clubs and stuff like that. Do you not know this stuff?
How do you know this stuff?
I know really weird stuff.
Oh, it's going horribly wrong. Yes, okay. So, I don't know about swingers' menus personally, but...
I didn't think you eat at those clubs. I mean...
No, he goes there
believe
for
me,
food.
everyone ends up eating.
You don't need plates.
Oh no, you don't need plates, exactly. So prawn cocktail, not me, but everyone else, yes.
Prawn cocktail,
Prawn
that's with
cocktail.
avocado, right? That's not
Yes.
just... Yeah, it's got to have avocado.
See, I think that goes really well together.
Yeah, that works.
Prawn and avocado, definitely. And if you were having steak with a sauce, would it be peppercorn?
Completely.
Has to be.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Don't know. What a selection.
Whatever you like.
Yeah, I know. Béarnaise? I don't know.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm
Tough call. Depends on how-
I'm mushroom or peppercorn. I do love a mushroom sauce.
Also depends how you cook the steak as well, because if it's well done, you can't really do the béarnaise with a rare steak because it gets all.
And you thought I went into too much detail.
Well, now I'm hungry, aren't I? You've done this. I have to go to Burger King after this, thanks to you.
And desserts? Any other favourite desserts?
Anything but apple crumble.
Viennetta.
Oh, really? So not
So
Viennetta
terribly
is
boring.
Viennetta would be a standard
Proper
70s dish.
Yeah.
Viennetta.
Viennetta.
And there is a well-known German store along the coast that sells what they call... I can't remember the precise wording of it, but it's...
Strudel.
No, it's not. It's the Viennetta in a blue box, and it's like €1.99, and they're massive.
I tell you what, I was in a restaurant the other day and they said, you've got to try this. So it was the dessert time. Lemon Viennetta.
Oh, okay.
Apparently Mercadona do it, and actually, I have to say, I would.
Yeah, okay.
Sounds a
well,
bit
I like
mystical.
the lemon cornettos.
Have you tried the ones that we call them the mini marathons from Mercadona? They're ice cream in a sort of a orangey packet.
Okay.
It's 6 in a box.
Yeah.
You'll never
Well,
eat
so
them.
they're like marathon, as in like the chocolate
Snickers.
bar. Okay, Snickers. Yeah.
Delicious.
Oh, nice.
If you're on a diet today, we
Yeah.
apologise
Yeah,
for talking to you
exactly.
in your ears
It's
and describing
difficult.
plenty
Yeah.
of food.
Yes.
Food has
Sorry
been
about
brought to
that.
you by an association with...
So from a first food article to another food article.
good.
It wasn't so long ago that our kitchen cupboards would have been bursting with staples such as corned beef, bovril and tins of condensed milk, allegedly. But nowadays, I added that bit, but nowadays it seems we are far more likely to be reaching for the likes of quinoa, miso paste and matcha tea as our go-to essentials. A survey revealing our changing tastes down the years found that soy sauce is now thought of as a key culinary must-have, with 1 in 4 saying they have it at hand at all times. Former staples such as condensed milk are now only likely to be found in a parent's or grandparent's cupboard, along with tin peaches and sardines.
Have you ever eaten chia?
Yes.
Quinoa, chia, matcha. They're horrible. They genuinely are not very nice things.
Oh, I
tell you
love
what-
quinoa.
Do you?
Yeah. I'm not a fan of matcha. I don't like the flavour
No.
of the matcha tea, but quinoa, yeah.
I don't understand what they're talking about. Is it just,
Really?
is it just me? They're talking about
Well,
stuff.
quinoa's like couscous, but slightly nuttier flavour.
So it's
Yeah,
couscous.
it's couscous, yeah.
It's couscous.
Because couscous is all right.
It's a couscous. I know what that is. I've seen that in the shops.
So,
Marmite. You've got
Yeah.
to have that in your cupboard.
yeah, love Marmite. But not Bovril. I've never had Bovril.
Oddly, I'm a Chelsea fan. All right, okay, calm down.
Someone's got to be.
And there is a thing
It's got a
called...
sense of humour.
There is a thing called the Bovril entrance, which is one of the entrances of the ground.
Right. God's sake.
I knew you were going to
Did
go
you
there.
just say that out loud? Oh, classic. I'm going to take the Bovril entrance.
Genuinely, go to the
Yes,
ground. You'll see
genuinely.
it.
Brilliant.
You'll see it.
I don't want to see it. Believe me, as soon as someone said no.
Okay, carry on. Football, Chelsea, Bovril entrance.
It's called the Bovril entrance, and it is one of the oldest entrances to the ground.
And why? Where does it come from?
Because they used to
Does it have a big
bovrils.
lid on the front where you unscrew
It
it?
smelt of beef. No, because it had. You could go in the. That was where you got your jug of Bovril half time when you needed warming up on the shed end
Right.
with a
I
pie.
literally don't know what to say.
And then the crowd cheered.
Oh, dear.
We're a very quiet crowd at Chelsea.
Yes.
Well, they were not surprised when their eyes are watering.
Yeah. Brilliant. What about corned beef? Never been a fan of
Don't
that
dislike
myself.
it. Don't dislike
Really?
it, but would never buy it.
No. Okay.
That's one of my growing up foods, that is. Corned
Right.
beef and baked beans we used to have a lot.
Yeah.
And chips.
Together,
Yeah, mixed.
both hot.
Well, corned beef was normally cold out the can.
Yeah.
Burn your fingers. But no,
But you wouldn't have it now, would you, for nostalgia's
I
sake?
saw it in the shop the other day, genuinely, in Bellamadna, I think I was, and I almost bought it. Almost
There
bought
you
it
go.
purely because I thought, I wonder if it's going to taste like it used to.
Yeah.
Because the can looks smaller, but then my hands have got bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I was in one of those other stores along the coast, and they had a tin of frayed bentos.
Oh,
Both
get it.
the suet pudding and the pie. And
Nice.
they were like 2.5, 3 euros, something like that. That's a decent lunch, or
Yeah, I used to have that for lunch at school.
Yeah.
Well, we used to come home from school, eat that, and then go back. It's like just 3 minutes in the microwave. Bing, lovely, totally.
What about condensed milk?
No.
Amazing.
Yeah?
Fabulous. Yeah.
So you have it now?
I've just restarted having it, actually. I never used to, but then, like, I ran out of sugar. And then I ran out of milk as well. So there's a tin there sitting already there in the back of the cupboard.
It's
I was
like ready-made milk
now
and
it's
sugar.
your time.
Yeah.
This is your time to shine.
And was it good?
I mean, it works for coffee better than tea. But, and you've got to get the measurement just right, because you need to have enough to make the milk substitute, but not so much that it's over-sugared.
But
Okay.
isn't
So it's
that
like an art form as well as a food. It's fantastic.
cafe bonbon? Isn't that condensed milk?
Yes, it is.
Isn't it the basis of a banoffee pie as well?
As well, yeah.
I think also, isn't there something you do when you boil condensed milk and reduce it down, it turns into caramel or something?
Oh yeah, dulce de
Dulce de
leche.
leche.
That's exactly where it comes from, yeah.
Any more
Yeah,
recipes
love
you'd
that.
like to discuss on this show, Hannah? I'm glad I came to
Well, what about
Hannah's
tinned
cooking
fruit?
hour.
Yeah, exactly.
Tinned fruit?
Tinned fruit?
Nah.
No.
At no level.
There's no reason to have that. is
No.
there?
I remember it used to be...
nuclear war.
Yeah.
Would it survive a nuclear war?
Well, it would if it was in a tin.
Probably,
and then you're
yeah.
in a shelter. I mean, you can't go and get a banana, can you?
No.
Pick
But
one
no,
off the...
but would you have tin? Because I remember, again, like growing up, if you had a fruit salad, it was normally made of tinned fruit, wasn't it? But if you had a fruit salad now, people would actually cut the fruit themselves. You wouldn't have tinned fruit.
How times have changed.
Yeah.
It's the little things, isn't it?
It's fun, no, but it's funny because we've become lazier generally with cooking and have all the different gadgets so we don't have to chop ourselves. When it comes to a fruit salad, if you went somewhere and they had fruit salad from a tin, you'd be like, oh, it's a bit.
I could think of a few menu de dias that do that.
Yeah.
Really?
But then you're paying €8 for a menu de dia, so who's going to
Yeah,
complain?
no, true.
The fact that it's got any vitamin C in it would be surprising.
Balsamic vinegar is
Yes.
something that's in. I've always had balsamic vinegar.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love balsamic vinegar.
Especially the cream of.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Get
Have you
it.
tried it on strawberries?
No, I don't think I have, but I've had. Yeah?
Doesn't it do something weird to the strawberries? There's some sort of
I
chemical
can't
reaction.
talk about that.
Hallucinogen.
does it do?
Strippy strawberries, man.
What does it do to the
It
strawberries?
makes them sweeter or something. It's like a chemical reaction with the two.
Are we going to have the?
There's a little bit of bubbling, but you get over it.
Are we going to have the quick conversation about banana and sugar sandwiches? And apparently, banana and salt sandwiches taste better.
No.
Apparently.
Come on.
It's a London thing. Genuinely, it is.
Salt?
Banana and salt sandwiches apparently taste better than banana and sugar sandwiches.
What, just salt? Just straight
Yeah,
on
as
it?
in like salt.
No.
Not like dip it in the
having
ocean,
that.
but actually granulated salt instead of sugar.
No.
Apparently. It's the same
Well,
as
you
MSG,
try it and
isn't
let
it?
us know.
I have, and it does actually.
Really?
It is actually the truth.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
Goes to work every day with it.
I can't imagine.
Salt sandwich.
I can imagine like doing it by mistake and going, oh, I put salt on that instead of sugar.
I'm not a fan of putting sugar on any form of fruit. I think if you're going to have raspberries, don't put sugar on them.
No, you
Strawberries,
don't
put
need
sugar.
it. They're
You don't need it.
sweet enough.
So you're a neat grapefruit kind of man, are you?
I don't eat grapefruit.
That's why, because you can't put sugar on it. Yeah. Quitter.
Goes against your morals.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Advocates of working from home might boast their short commute from bed to desk, but with such a small step count and any temptations of the biscuit tin never far away, the wonders of remote working may not be doing wonders for the waistline. Talking about the fact that if you're working from home, you're much more likely to be going to the kitchen and, I think I'll have some crisps, some biscuits, some whatever, and eating more. I think that would definitely be true.
I think so. Yeah, definitely. I think that the trouble is actually you do need a distinct separation between your bedroom and your office. And I think that the idea of, moving on. If it was
If you're working for OnlyFans, probably not.
Depends on the job, I guess, yeah. Depends on the job. A respectable office job, yes, done from home.
it's a
Please carry
respectable
on,
office.
Mark.
Yeah, no, I just think that in your mind health space, I think you actually need to be able to. Is it a travel? Is it a cycle? Is it some distance from home? So I think it's really important to separate home from work. Although
Yeah.
I enjoy working from home, I always have done.
And are you able to do it without going into the kitchen all the time?
Yeah,
Yeah? Oh, well done. So it is possible.
yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't necessarily show in this sylph-like frame of mine, but
It's built like a racing snake.
A racing snake. How random.
they just bite.
Okay.
It comes down to discipline, doesn't it, really?
It does.
I've got a studio at my house, and I frequently shuffle from the bedroom to the shower, through the kitchen to the studio. I grab a cup of tea, I don't grab biscuits. It depends on whether you're going to eat or not.
Okay.
You can blame it on what you want, but if you're going to eat, you're going to eat.
Yeah.
Intermittent fasting. No, it's just a thing at the moment, and everybody's saying, you shouldn't start eating before 11 and you shouldn't finish eating after 7. And I'm sure there's some logic in that, but I'm just not that disciplined.
No.
It's and I don't particularly enjoy breakfast, but mid-mornings and...
I've tried it and found it much easier than I thought I would, but I have Scott Roberts, who comes on this show once a month talking about health and nutrition and fitness and everything, and he says that you shouldn't do it. It's much more important to have a decent breakfast, a decent lunch and a decent dinner. Then you're less likely to want to snack in between. And
Aren't we all a little bit confused by that information? Because if you go on, there's some quite good online things that talk about, don't do cardio exercise, just don't eat, or fast, or eat protein, and you come away just scratching your head and just wondering what you should be. And the truth is that this is going to sound, I'm not going to even say
no, go for it.
Well,
go on.
People didn't come out of prison camps thin.
You know what? I was about to say that.
Really?
It's true though. You can't create or destroy matter. So if you want to lose weight, you just have to either work it off or eat less. Sorry, that's it.
It should be quite simple, shouldn't it?
And all you need to do is balance your diet. You can't look at a packet of sweets and say that's 2,000 calories and say that's my intake for the day, because it's just purely sugar. It needs to be balanced. But I think if you're a human of more than 70 IQ, I think you can probably work that out for yourself. And then if you can't, then get a dietitian. But it really is, you can't create and destroy matter. So, but you're right, I'm sorry. I use that phrase quite a lot about yes.
Well, there we go. We better take a break. It's getting all a bit serious.
Talk Radio Europe. TRE. Hannah Murray on TRE in the afternoon.
Good afternoon. You are listening to Men Talk with me in the studio today, Neil Topless, Ben Kavanagh and Mark Wilkins. We've had a message from Fox who says, "Hi folks, try banana and cucumber sandwich with little salt." There we go. Banana and cucumber. I love both of those things, but together?
Got to live a little. Got to live a little.
Because it's two different textures, isn't it? You've got the mushiness of the banana and then the crunchiness of the cucumber.
Plus the butter and the bread.
Butter.
I think there's going to be a rush to the stores this afternoon.
Yeah, to get all kinds of
if there's a
random
national cucumber shortage, we know why. Well, actually, we don't know exactly.
Yeah, but it's likely to do with Fox's.
We'd hope it would be. Yeah.
We would hope. Okay, this is one I'm going to ask Ben about. Barman will be told to avoid phrases such as "same again" and "is that a double" in an effect to curb binge drinking. Updated guidance from the alcohol industry encourages pub staff not to use language that make punters feel pressured to drink. It also warns against disparaging those... Oh, what's happening here?
Sorry.
Phones off, please. Updated guidance from the alcohol industry encourages pub staff not to use language that makes punters feel pressured to drink. It also warns against disparaging those who choose low or no alcohol options. The advice in a free online training course warns avoid using presumptive language. It can make customers feel pressured to drink. For example, don't say "same again." Instead, say "what would you like this time?" It suggests that staff asks "would you like a small or large measure?" in place of "do you want a large?"
My customers need absolutely no encouragement to continue drinking.
That's very true, and also I was just about to Google something because I'm an ex-licensee from a long time ago.
Okay.
So I know licensing law in the UK quite well. It's all very well doing that, but the original licensing law in the UK from 1960 something means that a child can drink in a restaurant beer, cider, porter-perry. Now, it's all very well saying controlling. What about just updating the original licensing law that stops kids drinking?
Yeah.
Hold on a minute, wind it back.
Yeah.
Oh, would you like a large one, sir? Da-da-da-da. Yeah, but that kid's got a sherry. Yeah, because that's a vermouth. That's all right.
I think there's a difference in the conversation culturally between the UK and other places as well.
For sure.
I mean, in the UK, pubs are owned by breweries, giant companies with massive turnovers, whereas your boss here might want you to upsell as much as possible because you need to make the money. There's no option to reduce people's consumption. There's no way you're going to be discouraging people from spending money, because that's your living, that's your wages.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you want the place to do well. You want it to stay open. I mean,
and can you imagine someone waking up feeling a little bit delicate the next day, saying, "Oh, it's the barman's fault."
It always is.
I mean, it's ridiculous. You can't.
I've been told many a time it's my fault. Many hundreds upon hundreds.
It always comes down to consequences, doesn't it? Because if you don't, passing it on to the barman's fault is just like, well, the consequence of drinking a lot is a bad head. Get a grip.
Can I have another one, please?
Yeah. Can I have another one? I need to forget. Hair of the dog.
Hair of the dog.
It's fascinating, and it's all very, very responsible by whoever placed that in the paper that you were reading. That they're trying to approach what obviously is some sort of schematic problem with a softer way of calming people down. But I imagine that those conversations don't take place in sweaty binge drinking bars. They take place in a slightly more refined cocktail.
And don't forget, at the end of the day, as a licensee, assuming that's an English newspaper, as a licensee, it's illegal to serve someone who's intoxicated.
That's true.
That's the law. So you shouldn't be saying, "Would you like a double?" You should be saying, "Go home, fella." Or
does that mean
fellerette?
Also you can't lay out a bowl of salty peanuts, because the idea of salt was
to make you drink more.
Yeah, but surely those days of salty peanuts on the bar are gone. Everyone knows how many germs are in them.
I don't know how true. Isn't that an old wives' tale?
Oh, I don't think so.
I think you'll find there was a Mythbusters episode on that, and I think you'll find that they found out that was complete and utter rubbish.
No, but if you think about it,
and the salt would kill all the germs.
Men, for example, then go to the loo and don't wash their hands, and then come back and go.
Oh, is that what we don't do?
Well, it is more of a generalisation, but obviously.
Someone's going to get backed into a corner.
No, I'm not. Without going into details.
Urine is sterile. Move on.
When you go to the loo, a man would need to wash his hands more than a woman would, if you're being pedantic about the whole thing.
Do you use chopsticks in the toilet? How do you explain to the gentlemen listeners, please?
Come on,
how does that work?
Oh, don't make me say it, because men touch more than women do when they go to the loo.
No, I'm sorry, I completely disagree. We touch a singular
the handles and the light switches.
Oh, come on.
I'm sorry, but it's the same actor. It's just
skin on skin.
You're sitting on a scabby toilet seat. Well, I'm not.
No, but our hands don't touch the toilet seat.
Well, you don't move it. It doesn't move at all.
No.
Okay, I believe you.
Honestly, not at all, because you're going into a women's toilet, so that...
Oh, you're qualifying it now, are you? Right, okay. All of a sudden we're into a ladies... okay.
No, but in most establishments you've got men's toilets and women's toilets, and there's no problem with the seat being up or down. The seat's generally where it should be, so you just go in...
Okay, so the lock on the door... When you lock the door and unlock the door, when you touch the toilet roll holder, when you push the button on the toilet, and then we walk in, do what we need to do, and walk back out again. We touch the door handle. You touch several handles.
I think it's marginal.
It is marginal.
Yeah.
But
So let's agree that we're equal now, because before we were saying it was all the blokes' fault, the dipping our hands in the peanuts, and it's not, is it? It's not all. It's not about blokes and their nuts. It's about women and their nuts as well.
No. It's both. It is both, obviously. But we both have the handle. We both have all of that. But I'm just saying,
ours is automatic.
Men have the edge.
Ours are automatic.
Oh, yeah.
We got modern stuff in the gents' toilets.
Thank you, Mark.
Yeah.
Thank you,
They definitely have the edge.
Mark said thank you.
Not many of them.
Chicken.
So we don't agree with this, do we?
No, move on.
We think it's silly. Skin on skin. There we go. Yes, exactly. That was a comment from Gary. Thank you, Gary. He knows what I mean. Well, he probably doesn't.
I bet he doesn't.
No, he probably doesn't.
Is he busily slicing his cucumber? Is it?
So this is talking about making a phone call and the kind of 10 rules of dialing in this modern age. The things that we should and shouldn't do when it comes to communicating with people on phones. And I just thought it was interesting to see how many of them you agree with or not. Don't leave a voicemail. When was the last time you called someone, their phone went to voicemail and you left a message? I haven't done that in years.
No.
Yeah, you just
don't do it anymore,
you just text.
Yeah,
you
it's weird, isn't it?
No, on WhatsApp it's quite infuriating, and one of my daughters does it quite a lot, is that you can leave, instead of a text message, it's a voice recorded message which you can then send. Mm-hmm. And it just encourages people to be long-winded.
Oh no, I don't think so. I do voice messages all the time.
I do. I use voice messages more than I use text messages.
It
kills the memory on your phone, though. I will say that it destroys the memory on your phone.
Does it?
It all archives.
My only bugbear about voice notes, as useful as they are, is if you want to remember a conversation, if there was some important details in it, it's
and that's
searchable.
And just to qualify what I've just said is when it's important, I'll put it in text so then I can find it again. If it's a time and a date and a place, I always write it and then back it up with a voice message. But the nature of what I do is if I type something and they're in a bad mood, which quite likely they will be if they're talking to me, they can read it wrong. So I send it as a voice message so they hear me, the tone of my voice, and they understand what I'm saying. Because I obviously work in a different industry to many people. That's why I do it. But I always qualify it. If it's 12 o'clock Fingarola on Thursday, I will type that and then do a voice message to match it.
Okay. So you're not a fan of the voice message, Ben?
I do like voice messages in one sense, is if it's a company trying to contact me, hence I won't have the number saved, and they don't get through to me, will you please leave a message if it's important, because otherwise you're just cold calling me, and that's why I'm ignoring your call.
Exactly.
And the amount of times that I've had operators on the other end think they're talking to me when it's actually on voicemail, and they're going hello, and they're going Ben, hello, and I'm kind of like, I'm listening to it, I'm going, how have you not clocked that's a voice box?
Yeah.
Do you still have a landline at home?
No.
Does anybody?
I do.
Do you?
We got rid of it a few years ago.
Because
about 3 years
the
ago.
answer phone was the sort of the 80s and 90s thing that attached to that, and that would be the recorded device that you get your messages. Then you could access them remotely. Remember, you had a little bleep on it.
It's amazing how many people don't have landlines now, and I know it from arranging interviews with people. Most people don't have a landline now.
Really?
Yeah.
It is a weird one because I'm still at that. Excuse me, I've really been in bad throat today. If I see a company that doesn't have a landline, I don't want to use them. If they haven't got a 951, 952 number or whatever it's going to be, I just think they're a bit Mickey Mouse.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Human, the normal day-to-day contact, you only use mobile numbers, you don't need the numbers anymore.
Yeah, but when it's a business.
But when it's a business, I expect them to have a landline, otherwise I don't particularly want to work with them because it feels like they're fly-by-night.
Yeah, I know what you mean, actually.
And that's why I've got landline numbers. They all bounce to my mobile, so I never answer. I don't have a physical home phone. It bounces to my mobile. It's just that I find that gives people more confidence to know that I actually can afford a house or a fixed abode that I can have a landline in.
Just really, I'm sorry, that's a real moment of somebody being here quite a long time because 951, 952 numbers. I mean, we know that they're landline numbers. The vast majority of people just drive on the coast, they don't have a clue.
No, absolutely. We've had a message from Mark that I'm going to read out. See, I could have left this, but I'm going to read it out and share it with you.
That's very thoughtful.
Come on.
Thank you. Mark says, fact from a large UK chain that cleans large chains of pubs and restaurants, the soap in the ladies isn't used as much as in the men's.
Exactly.
Wow.
So there you go.
We agreed earlier we had the edge. I think we've got more than the edge.
So basically, you blokes are cleaner. Excellent. Let's move on. I think we should move away from that one.
Or women bring their own.
Thank you. Yeah, exactly. Thank you for that.
Highly unlikely.
Sam says, I can never eat peanuts again now. Well, you can, just not ones that are communally shared.
Maybe eat them with some banana.
Yeah, or cucumber.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah, that's right.
Did you hear that story the other day about an American airline? And somebody, they got on the airline, they sat down and they realised that their seats were occupied by a couple that had not paid for the upgrade on the particular part of the seat, so they had a big argument about it. Then during the flight, the in-flight attendant came around and offered drinks, and they ordered a glass of red wine, and the old couple sitting next to them, who remember they'd already bounced them for their seats, and they got relaxed about it, said, would you mind not drinking that wine in our presence, because we don't believe in alcohol? And it's like, whoa, hang on. You had the brass neck to nick our seats. You then come and lecture us about our lifestyles. It's like, where do people... Classic example, weekend, walking the dogs along the Paseo in San Pedro, and they bark. Dogs bark. This very grumpy English lady said, it's terribly simple to stop your dogs barking. And my wife is a relatively passive person, but she just rounded on this mother, and she gave her 2 barrels, And this woman kind of really did kind of shuffle off up the but it's like people are so intent on influencing other people with their own beliefs, philosophies, whatever it happens to be.
Yeah.
And it's really uncomfortable that people just don't live and let live. It's really very,
it's a shame,
very
isn't
important
it?
that we try and get back to some basic understanding.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think it's deeper than that. I think it's people are now learning that by being offended with things or it gives them a reason to exist. It gives them if you put a name to something, it means you've got it, which means it makes you important or better than the other person. And I think people are using issues like this, conflicts like this, to almost use it as their identity.
Yeah.
And it's
want
the
to have an
endorphins
issue.
and all
It
that kind of
makes
thing.
them feel
yeah,
more,
it's a bit like
more
getting
of a
likes on
purpose.
Facebook.
Yeah.
And you know, how do you know someone's a vegan? Believe me, they'll tell you.
Yeah.
It's that kind of thing. Listen, you can do whatever you want. I just don't want to hear about it.
Yeah.
I really don't. You know, if you're a vegan, that's fine. If you're I can't say that word and I can't say that word. If you're something else, then that's fine. Sorry, my brain works in different ways.
If I tell you that I'm interested about it, then you can tell me about it.
True. Yeah, I do.
Exactly.
I would say
If I
what I'm
ask
thinking, but I don't want to offend someone.
questions.
But yeah, people live on this whole thing where they're identifying or making themselves feel better or making their personality seem
more interesting.
by being offended by something. Stop it. If you don't like it, walk away.
Absolutely. Here. Let's take a break.
This is Talk Radio Europe.
Hannah Murray. TRE in the afternoon.
Good afternoon. You're listening to Men Talk. With me in the studio today, we have Neil, Ben and Mark. And a message by Gary who says, we live in a time of entitlement. Just because I offend you doesn't mean I'm being offensive, should be the mantra. Yeah, I like that.
Mm-hmm. Can I just mop that other thing? I was talking about licensing law. I've just double checked it.
Yeah.
Providing they don't buy it, it is legal for anyone over 5 years of age in the UK to drink alcohol.
That's madness.
That's the licensing law.
5
It was either
years.
3 or 5, I couldn't remember. I used to teach that. That's really sad, I can't remember. But yeah,
God, that's
5 years,
ridiculous.
beer, cider, porterberry, normally with a meal, as long as
Yeah.
they're not paying for it. If they're buying it in that environment, you can be 16 and buy it with a meal, and then 18 to buy just alcohol on its own.
Yeah.
There you go. So,
Wow, how weird. So if you're with the family can give a 6-year-old a glass of
you just
sherry.
can't send the 6-year-old to the bar.
No.
Sorry, lads, you've got to get up. Your kids can't go for you.
Yeah.
But the rest
Yeah,
of it
give
is
me your money, I'll
it's
do it for
perfectly
you.
fine.
Yeah, that's
Perfectly fine,
madness,
perfectly
isn't
legal.
it?
Wow.
How weird. So there's an article here about having a bath. Churchill dictated speeches from his tub. Norman Lamont sang in his. Now, as high energy costs mean showers are all the rage, Quentin Letts, who still has his childhood rubber duck, says don't let the tide go out on bath time. How many of you enjoy a bath? Or not?
I don't have one in the house.
Yeah, neither do I.
I have a swimming pool.
Okay.
That's a big bath, but I only have showers in the house.
Okay.
We have a bathroom and shower room, and
Have you bathed?
certainly, but
Good lad.
it's one of those things that it just takes too long. It's a big bath and it takes a long time to fill. A shower is a very easy 2-minute
Quick.
process.
The amount of people that do still think, and I don't know if it's still relevant, but they do still think, because obviously I've got a building company over there somewhere, that they should always have a bath in the house, because I think it detracts from the property value if there's
Yeah.
not a bath as well as a shower. Yeah. So a lot of the times I go in, do reforms for people, and they say we can't have 2 showers, we need to have a shower and a bath,
Yeah.
because it will affect the property value. I don't think that's true.
I think it depends on the people buying the property. My husband loves a bath. He prefers a bath to shower, and he'll happily, because I associate having a bath is something that I might do on a Sunday evening a couple of times a year, literally.
What, Miss Antiques Roadshow?
Yes, exactly. It's a perfect time to have
Yeah.
a bath. Well, Antiques Roadshow's on. But he'll have a bath in the morning, which I find really weird. And I know a few people like that.
My wife likes a bath.
Yeah. It's interesting. So no, but I interviewed, because we were led to believe that having a bath uses a lot more water, and that's certainly what this article is saying. But I interviewed someone quite recently talking about saving water and not using too much water, and they said that the average time that a person spends in a shower, I'm not sure exactly what that was, you actually use more water in a shower than you would do in a bath.
I know the
bizarre.
calculation is an average shower is 30 litres.
Okay.
In Spain, that's the average calculation, I would imagine, a bath. But the thing is, with baths, okay, it's very nice and comfortable, but effectively what you're doing is lying in a soup of your own skin samples.
Yes.
And it's not like you rinse off when you get out, so you're just rolling around in the same fluid and then rubbing it with a towel and going to work, and that's a bit weird when you think about it.
Yeah.
I'd be tempted to file it under luxury, because it's not a necessity, and it's not something that you do every day, but you do it sometimes if you can.
It's a bit like putting cucumber on your banana. It's a luxury item.
I think of it as relaxing. If I've been for like a really long walk or something, I think, a nice bath, and I'll sit there I'll sort of kind of sit in the bath with my with a book, with my phone, maybe with a glass of wine. And
do you have those bath bombs?
No, I have. We've got matey at our house.
Really?
Yeah.
Clean fun, clean bathroom, clean
fun.
kids.
Exactly.
Where'd you buy that from?
I think you get it from Iceland.
Really?
Yeah.
Other supermarkets.
Great fun. Other supermarkets are available, they just don't have matey.
Iceland, I'm heading for you.
Exactly.
After Burger King.
My God, I didn't know they made that product anymore.
Yeah, with the little hat.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's a beautiful thing. What does it smell of?
Childhood. I can't remember. I don't think there's a distinct smell. It just smells like matey.
Can you hear that in the background? The sound of that Hovis advert.
The kid on the bicycle.
Yes.
Get some oil on that bike, lad.
Take another break.
This is Talk Radio Europe.
Hannah Murray, TRE in the afternoon.
Good afternoon. You're listening to the last part of Men Talk. With me in the studio today, we've got Neil, Ben and Mark. And there is an article here. I like these from the Daily Mail, and the headline is always "The One Lesson I've Learned from Life." And they have various celebrities, and there's like a sentence that they say, which is their biggest lesson from life. And I always find it interesting. Giles Brandreth said, "Busy people are happy people." He said it comes from his headmaster, Mr. Stocks, who was age 82, and it was the advice that he gave to Giles when he was 10 years old. He said, "Remember, Brandreth, busy people are happy people." And he said those 5 words have informed my entire life. One of his role models was Nicholas Parsons, still performing at the Fringe, age 95, and clearly enjoying keeping busy. He wrote a biography of the actor Sir John Gielgud. He said he bumped into him when he was 96 and asked for his news. He said, "I'm changing my agent. He's not getting me enough work." And he said he's also lucky enough to work a lot with Dame Judi Dench, and she will virtually spit if you mention the R word, which I assume is retirement. So what do we think about that? Busy people are happy people.
I thought we were on mottos. I thought we were going to talk about life mottos for a minute.
Yeah, we can do. This one.
I had a really good motto the other day.
Yeah.
Never borrow other people's problems.
Oh, I like that.
That's a really good one.
Yeah.
Really
Never
good
borrow
one.
Other
I
people's
might be borrowing
problems.
that one in the future.
Okay.
Not his problems, just his phrases.
Yeah.
Sorry, carry on.
Busy people, happy people. Can you relate?
I think they're only happy because they're not paying attention to the stuff that they should be paying attention to. They're just blocking it all out and pretending it doesn't exist.
Oh, is blocking out a good thing to do?
No.
No.
Because you can make yourself as busy as you want, but you're not doing the stuff that you should do. I have to have what I call adult days every now and again where I do stuff I don't want to do. Mm-hmm. And I will make myself busy in order to not do them.
Interesting.
I would sooner service the car than do my accounts.
Okay.
And so I don't believe that busy people are happy people. I think they're living in a make-believe world and avoiding their problems.
Interesting. Can you not see it from the point of view...
That was profound, wasn't it? That was quite profound for me. I'm going to write that one down.
Yeah. But I'm sure it's kind of from the point of view that if you're sitting there not doing anything and just kind of... I don't know whether it's reading a book, watching the telly, listening to the radio, doing things that we all enjoy doing, and spending time on your own, and things that are very valuable things to do, but only doing those things and not kind of keeping busy doing other things.
I think for me, there's I got to a certain age recently where people talk about retirement, and I probably could never conceive of an idea of giving up work. It just doesn't. Not that I haven't got other things to do in my life, but I just find that the motivation, the buzz I get from it still is really valid. And that if you deny yourself that simply because High Court judges in the UK have to retire at 70, so they have an active and a career that spans several decades, and then at 70 they have to stop. And then I'm sure statistically those people don't survive very long after it.
No.
I think that the idea of, I think busy people get stuff done. There's another word some people use in that sentence, but it is very true that if you've not got a lot to do, you'll make the day expand to cover those things that you are doing, and you'll take longer over them unnecessarily.
Yeah.
You do have that phrase, don't you? If you want something done, ask a busy person.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And I actually think that's wrong. I think if you want something done, ask a lazy person, because they'll find the quickest route to get it done and get back behind the telly again.
Yeah, I like being busy, but sometimes it can be a bit overwhelming. If you're, it depends kind of how busy and how many different things. If you're busy doing one or two things, then great. But sometimes I feel like I'm busy doing 8 different things, all of which I care about, and all of which require a certain amount of attention.
But busy is busy is the umbrella. Prioritizing the 8 things within that is the skill.
Yeah,
and it's not easy.
no.
And there'll be people, you'll have a boss who hasn't go at you, or you'll have some other structure with a partner, and they'll be expecting things. And so the pressure comes from, I'm not very good on stress. I've kind of given up on stress.
Yeah.
Not so excited about that. But I genuinely think that it's not a bad way of looking at it. And of course, Giles Brandreth, God forbid, he is a special case.
He's very special.
I think I'll leave it there.
Yeah. He's
But
that special.
I'd much rather be busy than not.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time where I literally can't remember the last time when I was thinking I was bored because I had nothing to do. I never feel like that, which is great, because there is always so much to do. I always feel like there kind of aren't enough hours in the day to do all the things I want to or need to do.
But you probably also, because you're busy, you add additional things to perpetuate the busyness. I mean, I happen to know that you're appearing in a well-known performance next week, and that combined with your television career and your radio career, I mean, how do you do it?
How do I do? I've no idea, Mark. But no, it's true.
Thank you for asking.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's true. But that's exactly that. All things that I enjoy doing and need to give a lot of attention to, but I wouldn't change it.
No,
not at all.
And she's like proof of concept, because she's clearly a happy person, so it's almost like she's sitting in front of you.
There you go.
The oracle has spoken.
There you go.
Get in.
Fabulous.
get in.
So, women who have less than an hour a day to themselves. Women over 40 spend less than 5 hours a week on their own needs, self-care and interests. I know none of you are women over 40, but I thought we...
Not even at the weekends.
But just thought it was an interesting concept to ask you as men how many, doesn't matter how many hours, but how you can kind of relate to how often you have quality time on your own.
I don't think we do pampering. I generally don't think that's not part of my thinking.
No.
And so if a woman requires the time and that's part of the activity she's happy to do in that time, and then it's not something that we factor in, I don't think.
Yeah, if she's got time between the ironing and the washing up, it's fine. Spoil yourself, love.
I knew that was coming.
I had to do it, didn't I? Let's be honest.
You had to. But no, not pampering necessarily. It could be just sitting down watching the football or something.
Mending
I guess.
my socks.
Yeah. No, I'm thinking.
My wife doesn't enjoy watching the football.
No, I'm talking about you.
Pathologically.
As men, things that you enjoy doing on your own and thinking, I'm happy on my own, chilling out, watching the telly, having a beer, whatever it might be.
I think.
Do you feel like you do that?
Me personally.
Do we do it enough?
Yeah.
I probably do it excessively. I probably just enjoy myself all the time.
Nice.
Just keeping busy doing things I enjoy doing.
Yeah, well, that's great.
I do value things that occupy my mind entirely. Snowboarding's a good one, because if you think about anything apart from snowboarding, you end up with your face in the snow.
Yeah.
Shooting is quite, target shooting is a lot like that, because if you think about something else, it's all over. I like stuff like that focuses my brain, and that makes me relaxed. That's my escape. That's my personal time. Walking the dogs is a good one.
Yeah.
But I like doing things not necessarily in a room on my own reading a book stuff, but it's normally doing something that I know makes me focus on everything apart from my life. That's my escapism.
Okay. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? The difference that can bring if you're doing something that really requires
Change
your
is
attention.
good as a rest kind of thing,
Yeah.
But it's those things that I enjoy, the stuff that requires complete and utter focus. So I can't look at my phone, I can't do that. Just driving down the road, I'm on my own, I don't necessarily have anything to do because you're not allowed to touch your mobile anymore. I don't find relaxing. However, if you give me something that requires my full attention and it stops me thinking about the fact that my accountant wants figures or whatever it's going to be, that's, for me, is my quality time. Apart from obviously being with Sam. Sorry, Sam.
To get that one in there.
Sorry, Sam.
Yeah, I think
We shoot together, obviously.
I think Neil's hit the nail on the head there. It's about occupying, focusing, and you being able to using your grey matter and stimulating, that part of you, and something it's kind of rewarding, isn't it? It's like and like you said, the immersion of being completely involved in something and just shutting
because I think we probably all live in sort of environments like you're saying where you're multitasking all the time.
Yeah.
The fact that you can actually do one thing just for an hour is really cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Really cool.
Well, we are at the end of the programme now, so thank you all very much for coming in today. Thank you, Neil, Ben and Mark, and have a good weekend all, because the weekend starts now for me.
You've been listening to a TRE production. If you've enjoyed this programme, there'll be another episode waiting for you next week, right here on this platform, where you can also access our extensive back catalogue of shows and interviews. For more information on our live programming, social media channels and apps, and how to contact Talk Radio Europe, please visit tre.radio.